I'm curious, over the course of your career, what growth have you seen in track and field? A sport often a lot of people think about, and traditionally in the past, like just related to around the Olympics time, but things have changed. What have you seen over the course of your career?
I definitely think it's social media. I feel like we can only highlight so many athletes in track and field because, yes, it's only around for the Olympics, but as you can see, it's around every single year. And the Olympics is just the big show for everyone to, join a world stage. And a lot of these sports do have world championships, but I think social media is able to share stories and share relatable content with these athletes, and you actually get to know the athlete instead of just see them on the screen for 10 seconds and just hearing about their accolades. Now you get to see how they perform and how they work, and I think it's really cool.
It sounds very cool. Uh, what has it been like for you being an assistant coach at Kansas State for track and field?
It's so cool. Last year, I was trying to get my feet under myself, trying to figure out after the Olympics and what role I play as as a coach. The K State coaches, they're stacked and they're loaded, and I'm just going to be there as the big sister role, someone that I didn't have in my college career. There we are with our coach Travis Geffert, Kip, and that's Hunter. Coach Travis is our coach, and he's leading us and guiding us to figure out where these athletes need to go, and these athletes want to be the best athletes. We're there right behind them, showing them the ropes. I'm doing everything that these athletes are doing in my own training, so just guiding them and letting them know that just trust the process and you're gonna be just fine.
How did that opportunity come about?
Yeah, our coach got offered the head coaching job at K-State. We were at University of Arkansas just training, and our coach got the head coaching job over at K-State, and he was like, this is a really cool opportunity. I'd love for you guys to come, and we were immediately yes. Like, we want to see you as a head coach for a track team. That's what you deserve, and you're our coach, and we're going to follow you. So we picked up our stuff from Fayetteville, Arkansas, and moved to Manhattan, Kansas, all like in between the Olympics and Paralympics.
Have you been enjoying Manhattan, Kansas?
I love Manhattan. It's so small. It's the little apple. So I'll be going to the big apple soon. And it's cool. It's very small, quaint town. It's definitely what Hunter and I need to, ground ourselves in this busy world. It's a lot out there, and so to come home to a small, quiet town, it's nice for the brain.
Yeah, I'm curious about growing up. You competed in a variety of events. You weren't just a long jumper. What made you decide, yes, it's the long jump for me, and key in on that?
Um, Long jump was the very first event I did starting at 4 years old. And then I went to triple jump, and I went to hurdles. And I was a really good hurdler, but I stopped hurdling in 2021 right before the Olympics because I suffered a hamstring strain. And it was right before regionals, right before, nationals. And it was easier to focus on one event instead of two at the time of the injury. So the last, I guess, 5 years, I've just been working on long jump, trying to perfect this event. You know, hurdles is my second love, but long jump has some spark in me that there's something I love about being in front of a crowd for an hour and a half instead of racing for 12 seconds, 11 seconds.
For sure. I mean, look at you. First of all, I always love watching you, even in motion. Like it's just always spectacular. You win, it's spectacular. It's joy. You bring so much joy to so many with what you do. So thank you for that, Tara. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I enjoy the sport.
We can tell. You're listed as 5'4". I'm wondering, traditionally, long jumpers tend to be a little taller. Did that impact at all how you approach training or preparing for it, like at all, to become the master that you are at this event?
No, I'm actually 5'3", so them giving me an extra inch, I'm with it. I stand at 5'4", stand at 6 foot some days. But no, it's not anything that hinder me. I feel like there are endless possibilities. There's so many body types out there, and I mean, being 5'3" in a event that you probably should be at least teetering 5'8" to just be able to extend your body. I am a little pocket rocket. I just shoot out right the back, and so I use my speed to carry me and make up for the lack of height that I have.
Makes sense. During the championships for the qualifier, you posted that the morning of the qualifier that your period came and you weren't expecting it. First of all, shout out to you because I think it's so dope that women athletes are normalizing talking about their periods. But I am curious, did it impact you in any way that day for purposes of your preparation? Obviously, you still won gold. And does it have any impact on you in general when you're training?
It definitely has impact on my training. I have a really, really, really bad first 2 days of my period. Crippling pain. And I have a tracker on my app, so like I know where I am. I'm very regular. So I was supposed to start days before that, and I just knew that the way my body was in stress, that it was getting pushed, and I was trying to push it just like 2 more extra days, and it came on the morning of qualifying rounds at like 4 a.m. And I was hunched over crying, and Hunter and I, like, we know what to do now to like calm down my, pains and my cramps. It's just like immediately get into a bathtub, just excruciating hot water. But with the fact that I was competing hours later, we didn't want my legs to be drained from the hot water. So we were trying to like figure out different ways. I brought my heating pads. I brought like all of my stuff to like, you know, make sure this is good. Um, but I just had to like leave my feet outside the water and just have like my back and my uterus inside the hot water. But my doctor came by. He did some working acupuncture medicine, Chinese medicine to like calm down my uterus to allow it to just relax and like not be so inflamed right before I go compete. So we did some acupuncture, we did some lasering, and I feel like we've kind of figured out the method of how to perfect Tara's cycle. Honestly, it's not the first time this has happened. It happened at Olympic trials morning of. So I think it's just a testimony of being a woman and being how strong it is to just be a woman in sport. And it's an awesome thing to overcome. I'm not gonna lie.
For sure. And every woman I think can understand that, obviously in a way that maybe sometimes others can't. But I just appreciate you being so transparent and sharing so much of yourself with us on social media. You had another post that I found really interesting. It was on TikTok, I believe, but it was a video of you and Hunter like laying in bed, and you said your body, doesn't feel so good the next morning after throwing it through the air. That was so fascinating to me to see because I was wondering what is it that you're feeling and how long does it take you to recover?
Man, it just depends on the track meet, how big of a track meet it is, how much adrenaline is pumping through my body. Because when I'm out there, I feel nothing. I'm just a floating little rocket. Um, and it genuinely feels like a bad hangover, like a really, really, really bad hangover. It's my back, it's my legs, it's my arms, it's my sides, like my obliques. Everything is working to launch myself from point A to point B, 23 feet in the air, 24 feet in the air. So, um, it's an awesome experience, but yeah, that next morning is something else. I did
Wow.
not even like party that night either. So it was,
Wow.
it's a
And
lot.
I don't think that's something most of us, like just watching, would realize, like we see you do it and then after. It's like all the celebration and you're on a tour doing, talk shows and interviews. And I don't think we really think about like what the immediate like after effect. I think of it as like people who run a marathon. I know that's not what you're doing, but they feel a lot after that marathon is over.
It takes them a good, I would say, 4 to 5 days to start completely feeling well. And then when you have those days of like where you do have to travel 14 hours across the world, that is more time. Like I went almost a week ago and my body is still fried from that experience, that
Wow.
competition.
You are pretty vocal about mental health and supporting it and sharing just your own story of managing depression and anxiety. I saw a video from, I think it was a Wall Street Journal panel where you were talking and you mentioned that like when you were considering or working through your process to go see a therapist, that your parents were like, you don't need to go to therapy, like you're happy or something along those lines. And I've had a similar experience. I hear many who have a similar experience. I'm curious, what advice would you give or suggest to people who are maybe dealing with something similar in terms of wrestling whether they should go to therapy, and then also how to have those conversations with family to get them comfortable and understanding why you may need to seek some professional help?
Yeah, I would say you can be happy and be in therapy at the same time. Therapy isn't for people who are depressed and sad. Therapy is, sorry, one sec. Therapy is just for, see, they don't like when you talk about it. They don't like when you talk about mental health. Therapy is for people who are genuinely just want to talk. Like if something is on your mind and you don't have anyone to talk about it, or you do have someone to talk about it, but their advice is not what you're looking for, that's where therapy is. And when you have a problem and you're not looking for your husband's advice, you're not looking for your coach's advice, you're not looking for someone else's advice, someone who's literally trained to help your mind go through all of these factors, that's the person that you go to talk to with therapy. And it's scary, yes. I've been working with my therapist since I was in college, so we have a relationship. She's known everything I've gone through, and I'm very lucky and blessed to have found someone immediately that I, can connect with. But yes, it's very scary to reopen all of those doors, those traumas that you've dealt with someone you don't know. But if you don't try, then you're never going to know if it works for you. And if it doesn't work for you, that's totally okay. There are things out there that can work for you. So yeah, that's my spiel.
I think that the more athletes speak out about this stuff, Simone Biles, even in other sports like Naomi Osaka, I think it's really beneficial because people look at you guys as like, you're athletes and everything is going great. And so being so transparent with the fact that even you guys deal with things and sometimes seek help, it really helps to normalize you, but hopefully give people courage to do the same.
Yeah, I feel like it would be crazy not to think that athletes don't struggle with mental health. Every athlete has to struggle with mental health. They put such an expectation on themselves to do well, and if they do not perform individually well, that is going to reflect their mental health. And it's a struggle in these streets. It's a struggle in life in general. And without sports and with sports, I feel like everyone, deserves a chance to talk about their mental health and just to be checked on here and there.
For sure. Adulting can be hard, but you know what? We all do the best that we can. Let's just wrap with a couple of fun questions for you before you go. Can you tell me what the origin story is of America's Cowgirl?
Yes, America's Cowgirl started back when I was at University of Texas. My friend Trip Pippery, who is on the track scene as well, he's part of the cowboy program at Texas, and he would wear his cowboy hat, and I was like, that is so cool. And my grandfather, my big dad, he bought me some cowboy boots when I graduated college. And so at nationals, I thought it'd be fun to bring out my cowboy boots and cowboy hats. And if I won, that was the caveat, is if I won, I would do it. And I did, and it was just such a fun moment in time for me that it kind of sparked this newfound person in my life on the field. And it was the Cowgirl, it's America's Cowgirl. It's really hard to travel with cowboy boots and cowboy hats all the way across the seas. So I'm not know if the shtick is going to hold up any time, but it's so fun. I'm looking at those boots right now. It's so fun. It's an incredible experience to be able to represent, USA. It's what I've loved and, have been bred and dreamed of doing. And, Tecovas is a really good boot sponsor that I've been getting my boots from for the past 5 years. And it's been awesome. I have so many hats, so many boots. Yeah, I love it.
Awesome. You look amazing with your hat on over your braids. I'm curious, are braids your favorite hairstyle to rock when you're competing, or do you have, that's what I mostly see you in?
Yeah, it's the easiest, I would say.
Okay.
When you're traveling all across seas, like having my natural hair out or having to sew in, it's like, am I gonna bring all these tools? Am I gonna burn out my tools? Am I gonna I have these expensive tools I don't want to bring and, fry them going across seas. So braids is the easiest. I've been getting braids since I was young. So braids is the easiest. And my husband has just arrived home and he is singing on top of his lungs.
You look great, girl. Okay, I can't let you go without asking a question about Hunter, because you two bring people also so much joy. # couple goals, but y'all are so great. So just a little fun question. Look at this. This is great. If you and Hunter could, I'm asking you to speak for him, but if you had the opportunity to go on a double date with another athlete or celeb couple, who would you want that double date to be with?
Ooh, that is a great question. I would say, okay.
You can have more than one if you want.
Since we are in the moment, I'm going to say Sierra and Russell Wilson.
Oh, Sierra is like a matchmaker. She's such a girly, she's a girl's girl.
I think it would be such a fun experience. The boys can talk about sports and, we'd be vibing.
I love that answer. I could so see it. I think y'all need to set that up and make it happen.
That'd be awesome. That'd be so nice. You want to say hi to the interview? We're gonna go on a double date with Russell.
Oh, did we get Hunter?
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Hello.
Let's go down.
Hi, Hunter.
Hi.
Did you hear her answer? Did you hear the question?
It was a dream.
I heard I got a double date coming up, so I'm pretty pumped about that. I think she has to point out.
Listen, Tara, thank you so much for giving me so much of your time today and being so generous. Good luck to you at Athlos.
Thank you so much.
I hope you get that Tiffany crown. I can't wait to see you wearing it.
I'm so excited. I'm so pumped.
But yes, best of luck to you and all the best, Tara. Thank you. We're big fans of you over here.
Well, we're big fans of NBC over here. I'm not going to lie, so.
Take care.
Thank you.